Let's go ahead and talk about one of the biggest reasons that you will not start a business. You are afraid. You are scared. And this right here is one of the biggest reasons that you will not start a business. And also, let's go ahead and talk about the process. First of all, there's just you in your space, and you're thinking about starting a business, and you've heard this the statement that 90% of businesses fail, and you've heard of all these other things where starting a business is so hard, starting a business is so unsuccessful. You go through trials and tribulations, and let me go ahead and take you through the stages of this and help give you some clarity on this. When I was in the military, I started not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 businesses that all failed. Now, why did these 5 businesses fail? Because I didn't know what I was doing. And right there, that's the kind of the key. Because the first successful business that I did, I actually knew what I was doing. So the business was extremely successful because I knew what I was doing. And that's the kind of the key, because right now there's something I find to be really strange on YouTube. Right now, there's a bunch of people putting up videos talking about they make incredible sums of money, and these videos are not getting views. I will submit to you that virtually everyone that's putting up these videos is selling a course for something that they haven't been doing that long. So there would be one of the reasons. I think that you, the average customer, has gotten smarter. And you know that if some young kid comes up here and talks about, I've been making $90,000, $100,000 a month, and I'm 16, 17, you begin to actually have a lot of suspicion about that, because if you're 16 and you're making $100,000 a month, this is something you literally did in a few months, because you're not old enough to have years and years of experience. But once again, who's watching YouTube? Children. But let's go ahead and talk about the fear. You have this fear that you're going to fail. You have this fear that people are going to talk about you. And I have a video here on YouTube talking about you should move in silence. You should start your business. You should do these things. You should be moving in silence. And one of the things that happened to me, because this could have happened to you, maybe you've experienced it, is after those first 5 businesses failed, I went, I think I went 9 years before I started another business, because the failure was so painful. It was just like this punch in the face. And one of the things I didn't understand about starting a business was there's procedures, there's best practices, there's things that you need to do to start the business for you to be successful. And I didn't understand that stuff. And I didn't understand any of those measures or pleasures of things that were quite critical for you to be successful starting a business. And typically what will happen is you will become paralyzed by your fear, or you will start going to YouTube University. Now, YouTube University is a place where you can go, where you can start to study, where you can go ahead and situate yourself to get this YouTube University, this free knowledge, and actually apply it. Now, this is one of the things, as someone who was giving away courses 2014, 2015, I actually tried to give away a course recently, but people were clowning, so I just stopped giving it away. One of the things that happens is, my personal opinion, this is my personal opinion based upon direct experience, is that people do not appreciate free information. There's a small group of people who appreciate free information and will use it, but the reality is that the average person doesn't appreciate free information the way that they used to. And typically, if you have a free offer and you're giving it away, typically people will sign up for it, but they won't do it. They just won't. That's one of the craziest things that will happen. But once again, we need to go ahead and dive into the situation. You're scared to start a business because you feel that you will fail. You feel that it would create debt for you. You would have expenses. And these are valid concerns. But let me go ahead and tell you the things that you need to do so you can start a business and not have those issues. Number one, start a business that you know what you're doing. That was my first lesson for my first successful business. Essentially, I was selling commercial office furniture. I was selling brand new commercial office furniture. Really wasn't that hard to go from brand new commercial office furniture to selling used commercial office furniture. Really wasn't that hard. And the company made me an offer. I actually signed the agreement. I started selling their furniture. I started getting paid. Why? Because I was already selling commercial office furniture. So I already knew how to get the clients, already knew how to get the leads. Well, get the leads, set the appointments, and sell the furniture. This is something that I was already doing. And man, when I started doing it for myself, I had the same results that I had when I was doing it for this other company. Had the same results. So that's the first lesson. You need, and this is one of the reasons that so many people actually fail. They get into trouble. They'll go out and start a business like I did with car rentals and didn't really know a lot about car rental business. And that business was predicated on me just sitting down, putting a pen to paper and coming up with some numbers. And that business, and you know, there's a lot of debate because on the main channel, there's something called the Kill Switch Chronicles, which detail all of the things that went through with that business. But that business failed because there was a core principle that I did not understand, which was customer behavior. And essentially, if you have a rental business where you're renting cars, houses, you will have some people who just simply will not care and they will tear up your stuff. They will literally tear up your stuff. So another thing that will happen in this whole process, like number one, do something that you know how to do. Like say there's a business you want to get into. Hint, find a job for someone doing that business. Get a job so you can get into that business. Get a job. Because this is a way that you can learn this business, get paid, and not have that risk. But, you know, essentially, let's kind of make a little departure here and then we'll circle back. Take a man walking up to a woman that he's never seen, he's never met any before, and ask her out. The average man is not going to do that. The average man is scared of women. So what happens is you create this situation where it's just you in your space and you're stark, raving scared to do something. Then this matriculates heavily into a business. Now, I want to share some stuff with you that's going to be very interesting, and it's a personal experience. I started a business that I spent maybe $2,500 for and ended up making millions. $2,500, YouTube business, selling online courses, selling my first book and all this other stuff. So there is a way that you can start a business. There's a way that you can start a business and make a lot of money from a very economical standpoint. You don't have to go out and borrow millions of dollars. I've seen comments talking about it's better to buy a business than it is to start a business. And once again, if you can go out and get the money to buy a business, and let's go ahead and just be 100% clear. No one is selling a business that is extremely successful, extremely profitable cheaply. They're not. That's not happening. And no one is selling a business that's extremely successful, extremely profitable, and you could go ahead and like, hey, I will pay you with the money that the business makes over time. No one is selling a business like that. No one is selling a business that's extremely profitable. Now, if someone may sell a business to you that has some issues and they want to get rid of it, yeah, they'll make that deal. But an extremely successful business that's making a lot of profit, there's no way that someone's going to sell that business to you cheaply. They may sell it if you offer them enough money, but they're not going to sell it cheaply. So part of this whole fear thing is to get some experience. And one of the things I would tell you that's going to be extremely helpful for you to get experience in is in sales. Sales. Like what's going to be coming up in this month of June is I'm going to be revisiting my roots, getting back into sales for the credit repair business. Now, this is something that is going to happen because I do understand what I'm getting myself into. I do understand who I'll be dealing with, and I do understand the upside. But one of the things that you have to understand, and one of the things that you have to be knowledgeable about, is this whole process of starting a business, making it safe. I will share some with you. There's a young man, and you can go to YouTube. It's like how much money I made the first week of my Subway business. And this is something that I have seen is, remember when Subway was super huge, it was super large, there was Jared before he went to jail. And I have literally seen multiple Subway restaurants close down. So I don't know if it's a good business model to be the owner of a Subway restaurant right now, because literally I have seen several of them close down. And I don't know if people's tastes have changed. I have no clue. But typically, he's going through something. And I actually knew a guy who owned like 4 Subway restaurants, and I actually saw him close 3 of them. 3 of them in a high traffic, high density area. He literally shut them down. So one of the things that you have to understand is you need to know how to do the business. You need to have experience, recent experience. One of the things is like, with the credit repair, I actually fixed 20 people's credit. I actually went through that system and did that. So that's something I know how to do. And I did it the old school way, and it still worked. And there's a new school way. And one of the things you have to do is update yourself on the type of business that you should get into. Because right now, a lot of stuff, I call it the pandemic wake-up call. A lot of businesses that people got into the pandemics, Airbnb, Turo, these businesses are starting to have some issues because we do not have all of that pandemic money in the economy anymore. The government isn't dealing out stimulus checks. There's no more loans. There's no more PPP money. And now the economy is showing that with something that came from all of that money being flooded into the system, massive inflation that we've been dealing with. The inflation of housing, the inflation of rentals, the inflation, so car prices have crashed. Car prices have literally crashed. But typically, one of the things that you have to understand, and this is one of the reasons I kept pushing the money management course, was that if you understand how your money operates, it makes your life much easier and better overall. But one of the things that you want to do, and one of the things you need to have a good understanding of, is how to start a business, how to make money. And once again, let's go ahead and just talk about the important thing that you need to learn for your business is how to make a sale, which is how do you go out into the marketplace and grab customers and bring them back to your business. That's the most important thing you can do. This is why people like Turo gets the customers. This is why people like Airbnb gets the customers. This is why people like Amazon gets the customers. If you can learn how to go out and get customers and bring them into your business, you can become a billionaire. If you learn how to do that really, really, really well. And if you learn and you get the skill sets of sales and marketing, you don't have to be scared, because literally, and this is something that I was doing with an old course called 30 Days to 2,500. Literally, it was teaching people how to set up and build something and get up to 2,500 bucks in 30 days. It was knowing how to go into the marketplace, grab customers, and bring them back to your business. If you can go to the marketplace and grab customers and bring them back to your business, you have no reason to be afraid of starting a business. And this is one of the things that you should do. Number one, keep your job. Number two, start your business when you're off from your job. Number three, your hours and stuff are going to go up. You're going to have less free time. That's just part of the game. It's not going to last forever, but if you want to have a successful business, you want to build something that is extremely durable, this is the way to do it, and this is the way not to get yourself in trouble. So one of the things that you want to do is understand what is going on in the marketplace with your business, so you don't have to be scared. Because let me go ahead and tell you when this scared period is going to come back. Let's say you're 25 and you want to start a business and you never do it. Then eventually you turn and you're like 65 and you're looking back at your life, and this is going to haunt you that you didn't try. You're going to sit back and you're going to wonder what would have happened, what could you have built, what could you have created, and it's going to haunt you. It's literally going to plague your old age. It is literally going to be around every nook and corner. And one of the things that you have to understand with creating and setting and starting your business is, I don't know what you believe. I'm not going to get religious here, but this may be it. And once you pass on, that's it. Or maybe you come back and get another chance. I don't know. But one of the things that you want to understand is you need to get a level of courage and start something. And this is something that I'll be talking about on this channel, because we're at the end of this video and there's a playlist and there's some other videos that you should be watching. So go ahead, watch those other videos, because each video has value for you, and I will see you guys in the next one.